Chicago, America's city in a garden. The most beautiful lakefront in America, with a waterfront skyline that has no rival for top beauty honors in the entire Western Hemisphere. Over 400 parks express Chicago's efforts to create an attractive city that is a pleasant place in which to live. But behind Chicago's peaceful stretches of beauty, inheritance of early city planning, lies the robust, dynamic, exciting, stimulating city which serves and houses some 3.5 million people.
Hi, this is Norman Berry doing a little sidewalk superintending on our new Civic Center. You know, Chicago sure is building. I think it's a terrific city. I've lived here for over 37 years now, and I never get tired of it. And to me, change like this is a sign of progress, fulfilling past plans and getting ready for the future. But really, I think maybe it's a good time for all of us to stop and pause a while and take a really good look at Chicago. And with that idea in mind, let's review 1963. Let's take a new look at Chicago. Chicago is a big city. It takes a lot of wear and tear, and it takes a lot of doing to keep it in good condition. But one thing I think we tend to lose sight of, and that is the fact that this is our city. It belongs to us, to you who live here, to me, to him, to her, him. All of us share a responsibility in the city's affairs. The city is not a vague they. It is we. For a long time, as a city, we had sort of an inferiority complex. But to your credit, it only made us try harder. And today, Chicago is one of the greatest of cities, nationally recognized as superior in so many ways. We have a tremendous amount to be thankful for. Here's one right here. Early in 1963, Chicago was given a national award as the cleanest big city in the nation. Thanks to you. Well, I'm told there are about 800,000 people who pour into the Central Business District every day and surge out again in the evening. The provision of the necessary transportation facilities is a tremendous job, requiring all sorts of planning, construction, maintenance, and supervision.
Opens up at 28th and moves steadily out through 95th. The Kennedy Expressway north and southbound moving very well from Madison through Ohio. The Eisenhower east and westbound open.
In the cooperation of city, county, and state ground traffic service, daily vigilance is exercised over all expressways, looking out for traffic weaknesses and ways to improve mobility with safety. We're always alert to changes of regulations for increased safety. Last year, trucks on the Dan Ryan were ordered to use the 2 right lanes only, and at 300-foot intervals. And this has noticeably improved the safety and the flow of traffic there.
We are also always alert to new means of accommodating the commuter public. Just last year, the CTA added its service to the Dan Ryan Express route, which cuts traveling time between 111th and Pulaski to the Loop by 20 minutes. And with the death of the North Shore Line, the CTA is stepping in to provide commuter service for Skokie. And you CTA customers will be happy to hear that CTA last June placed an order for 180 air-conditioned L subway cars.
This is O'Hare Field, the world's busiest airport, a fact of which you can be very proud. And this is the new International Terminal, opened only last October. It gives Chicago air transportation facilities second to none, makes our city one of the important air crossroads of the world, offering direct service to many European capitals.
Ever since the opening of the St. Lawrence Seaway, Chicago has also become an important world trade center. In 1963, our port at Navy Pier broke all records for increased general cargo. It handled more overseas import and export general cargo tonnage than all the other American lake ports combined. From this shipping, our economy is so stimulated that we benefit at the rate of $20 a ton. The opening of the Dearborn Street Bridge last October represents the effort expended to accommodate both water and street traffic in the center of the city. Since delivery from Chicago can now be made to anywhere in the world by water, we are pledged to provide the facilities required to serve this trade properly. We are pledged also, in keeping abreast of the complexities of world trade, to provide a competent education for our future merchants, professionals, and technicians.
With the move of the University of Illinois Chicago branch from Navy Pier to its new site, this pledge will be near fulfillment. Now, the dream of bringing state university educational facilities to serve Chicago's young people became a reality here in October 1963 with the groundbreaking for the $10 million Student Union. Now, if you were there, you'll remember this young man.
As you know, I speak here today as a prospective member of the first graduating class from the University of Illinois at Congress Circle. I want to talk about what this new school will mean to us, its students. For the first time, we will have a degree-granting state institution in the Chicagoland area. In the past, we have found it necessary to go elsewhere after the initial phase of our college education. The relief of our present overcrowded conditions will encourage a greater number of us to continue our educations. We will be blessed with adequate classrooms and modern laboratory facilities. We can all look forward with justifiable pride and keen anticipation to the day when we shall be able to call this great university our alma mater.
As youth will be served, it is the concern of Chicago that its senior citizens also are served. Chicago has the most forward-looking housing program for the elderly in the nation. In 1963, 13 new sites were approved by the City Council for homes to be specifically designed for the elderly, offering many conveniences and facilities which help make the lives of the aged happier.
Making way for tomorrow in a large city requires bold planning and courageous execution. The Carl Sandburg Village, the first phase completed in January of 1963. 4 28-story high-rise towers. Eventually, there'll be 1,875 dwelling units in this village. Now, you may remember how ugly this area was before it was cleared out. More areas were developed and improved in 1963 than in any year in history. The clearance of slum and blight is impressive, and the results are outstanding. But the larger part of Chicago's community improvement is accomplished by private rehabilitation. Through planned conservation programs, demonstrations, and examples, the city seeks to stimulate and motivate private improvement, giving advice and encouraging pride in the community, in repairing and renewing. Now, these 8 row houses, for example, were improved by the cooperation of 8 owner neighbors. And since Chicago is a community of 75 neighborhoods, it's encouraging that neighborhood by neighborhood, the desire to improve catches on. Community improvement is contagious. Where blight has been cleared, effort is made to keep merchants in the same neighborhood by providing new quarters. New commercial buildings are invited to replace slum clearances. Creative imagination is another factor in the growth and progress of a big city. This topping out ceremony took place in 1963, On top of the Outer Drive East apartment building at Lakeshore Drive and Randolph Street. This building is both an achievement and an innovation, for it's Chicago's first major residential construction built completely on air rights. The developer was granted the right to build this apartment over Illinois Central Railroad tracks. And this served to beautify what was an unattractive view of tracks and unlandscaped property. Now this opens up a whole new attractive area for residential expansion. No building, however, will be permitted further south which will in any way destroy the beauty of our park-like front yard. In many ways, Chicago is like a big house, and housekeeping for a city is a very sizable job. But services provided by city departments are everywhere. They operate over 100 machines to sweep 250,000 curb miles of street a year. Over 500 modern refuse trucks collect the city's trash and garbage for incineration, the modern method of disposal. This is the city's third incinerator, $6 million facility, put into operation in March of 1963. A fourth incinerator, now in the planning stage, should virtually eliminate the archaic practice of dumping as a means of garbage disposal. One of the major responsibilities of any city is the provision and maintenance of facilities to protect the health of its people. Now, this building, dedicated and opened on November 20th, 1963, initiated Chicago's program to bring its medical services to the people. In effect, a miniature board of health that includes a dental clinic and is the first in a series of health centers to serve the people where they live. As part of the neighborhood, it makes more available the means by which people can take care of their health. This is concrete evidence of the city's concern for the daily condition of its residents. This is a progressive development, an outgrowth of the same spirit which has made the city's elaborate chronic disease program nationally known and respected. Its preventive medicine leadership is recognized throughout the world, and our health department has given Chicago the greatest protection against communicable disease of any big city in the United States. One of the top essentials of a healthy city, of a great city, is a clean, healthful water supply. On this score, Chicago ensured the purity of its water with the opening of its second filtration plant, the world's largest. It has a capacity of 1,750,000,000 gallons a day. You can be proud, too, that Chicago has the highest water rating in the nation. Every major city has its air pollution problem. Chicago, confident that man-made problems can be eliminated by man, has met this one head-on. And in 1963, the city's outstanding program of education and citizen participation received both an award from the National Cleaner Air Committee and from a Senate committee for its air pollution prevention program. Protection of the people of Chicago is always the city's primary concern. Chicago is particularly sensitive to fire. Its program of public fire drill education, the excellence of its personnel training, and an exceptional inventory of firefighting equipment are expected to bring to Chicago's professional fire department in 1964 a number 2 rating, the highest in the country. Also, the acquisition of new fire department ambulances in 1963 now provides emergency ambulance service in approximately 2 minutes to every resident in the city. Today, Chicago has more police personnel per capita than any other major American city with over 1 million population. The reappointment in 1963 of Orlando W. Wilson, considered the nation's top police administrator, as superintendent of Chicago's police department, a reduced crime rate locally against an increase nationally, and the dedication of the remodeled police headquarters building to provide better services are evidences of the confidence and public support behind the goal to give Chicago the best police department in the nation. The saving of more than 50 lives over the previous year won a National Safety Council Award in 1963 with a special commendation for no fatalities over the July 4th weekend,
a period in which the country as a whole was setting a death record. The best street lighting in America is another important factor in Chicago's safety record.
Also, in April 1963, Chicago received federal approval for the Near West Side Urban Renewal Project. And in June, federal approval was given for the Southeast Englewood Project, 80% of which will be rehabilitation. Now, when removal is required, it is by no means done impulsively or arbitrarily. It demands a study of the area conditions, both economic and social, and the best possible plan for community improvement. It is this drive to improve which gives residents, investors, and industry the utmost confidence in Chicago. The 1963 evidence is impressive. An 80-story apartment building for Wolf Point announced in April. A 30-story general office building for Illinois Bell Telephone. The 35-story Equitable Life Building. The new Federal Building. The Brunswick Building, across the street from the new Civic Center. All confirmations of the faith in Chicago's health and future. They join the many, many other examples which already express Chicago's vibrant enthusiasm for growth.